Welcome back to Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host, Joshua David, and we are talking about the do's, the don'ts of the financial markets, inspiring everyday people, average investors or traders, or just regular people to get started in these financial markets, hopefully so you can make better choices in the future. If you happen to miss 2 tickets for the investing class that we do locally right here in Denver, Colorado, and Bloomington, Minnesota, call 888-682-6466. Call right now. That's 888-682-6466. To make it easy, you can also text the word invest to the number 484848. When you get set up for this investing class, when you get registered, you're going to receive a quick start kit that will help you get started right away. That actually includes some free stock picks. Everybody loves some free stock picks, Al.
They do.
So, Al, let's inspire people to get started. We talked about status quo. People are kind of like, it's okay. Let's just be like the herd and do nothing. Well, it's inspired people to do something, to get started. What are your goals? What are your aspirations, your goals, your objectives in the financial markets, or you financially? You got to think about that for a second. What is your why? And I'm guessing if you're listening to the show right now, and we got thousands of people listening, you probably have an interest in the financial markets and just not sure how to get started. You've helped a lot of people here at Online Trading Academy, Al, get started in these markets. Maybe people just that have 401ks and not sure how they work, or maybe just don't have 401ks and want to get started trading and investing. Mm-hmm. What do you think, in your opinion, is a great way to confidently get into the markets and also safely as well?
Well, it really gets down to education, but the way we start is to look at everybody as an individual, as unique in what their needs are and where they are right now. So it's important, we feel, to find out from you where you are now and where you want to be in the future. If in 5 years or 10 years or 2 years or whatever that time period is, you want to be somewhere different financially than you are now, well, then there's something that probably has to change. There's a way to get there. There's a way to bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be that's best for you. And that may be a different way than it is for your next-door neighbor or the person 2 or 3 houses down. Everyone is unique, and that's, I think, where we really excel. And we look at everybody as an individual and put together a plan that's specific to them and to you mentioned, your why. Why do you want to be in the market? What do you want to get out of the market? It's not just to make money. I mean, obviously that's a goal, but what is it you want to do with that money? How is that going to impact your life? How is that going to provide security for you, or maybe help your kids or your grandkids and provide security for them? Identify what your goals are, because if you don't do that, it's pretty hard to achieve what you haven't identified. And here's the really positive thing, Josh. All we care about is that the market is open. It doesn't make any difference if it's going up or down. The opportunities are there. In fact, a lot of us look at a down market as the best time to be invested because things happen quicker.
Yeah.
If you look at the market, if you look at a chart of the markets, go back, I don't care how many years, from the 1800s if you want to, and look at how the market works. It doesn't just go in a straight line. It goes up, it goes down. There's opportunities in both directions, and what you'll find is that when the market goes up, it's more like an escalator going up, and when the market goes down, it's more like the express elevator to the bargain basement.
Yeah.
It goes down quicker. And who's waiting in that bargain basement, by the way? Who always talks about being there waiting? Warren Buffett.
Yep.
And that's what he says. I buy good companies that are in the bargain basement, the bargain aisle.
And he is at, I think the stat is like almost 75% or 80% in cash right now. Or the stat was he was. He
is still hugely in cash, and we refer to that Buffett indicator often, where he looks at that as being the single best indicator of the value of the stock market.
Yep.
When it gets to be 80% of GDP, he backs off. Now it's over maybe 150 to 200. It changes on a daily basis,
yep.
But it's way, way over where he feels there are values. So, and that's okay. There are ways of participating in a different direction. And there are some assets that do better when stocks are going down. We talk a lot about the commodities, oil, gold, and you look at a day when the market is down big, almost always you're going to find some of the commodities, oil and gold being two specifically, that will go up in value.
Yeah, I want to talk about oil and gold here coming up, but I brought up the the Merriam dictionary to bring up status quo to get the definition of that, and we make up a lot of nice words and different things here today. I just got to ask you, did you just say hugely?
Did I say hugely?
Yeah, is that a word? Is that just an alism?
If it wasn't, it is now.
It is now.
I do some alisms.
We should put that in the dictionary. Yeah. There was one a while back we used to say a lot. I hope we can remember it and talk about it later. But let's think about that. There was a word you made up, and it was genius. I loved it. But Al, so with people that are looking to get inspired and to get started, it comes down to having a plan, and that's where it starts. Is you have to have a plan. You said you have to have some education and some skills, but it starts by having a plan. And the first thing you got to do is get started. Sometimes that's the hardest thing to do. We have investing classes for people to get started in these markets. Hopefully, what we talk about here today can inspire you to just, jump in. Get in the markets and learn how to do it properly and safely, but also confidently. Call right now for 2 tickets for this investing class to learn how to get started in these markets. Call right now. Call 888-682-6466. And this is for 2 tickets for a local investing class right here in Denver, Colorado, and Bloomington, Minnesota. Call 888-682-6466 or just text the word invest to the number 484848. So, Al, you mentioned gold and oil. Now, we've seen some phenomenal moves in both of those markets. Let's start with oil. I mean, oil topped or got right to about $130 per barrel. I mean, this is the highest level since, I think we talked about it last week, since, was it 2011, I think it was? And it soared. We've seen some big drops, though. It dropped from 130 down to about 103 within a day or two. So there's upward movements, opportunities, but also the opportunity as it dropped as well. Same thing with gold. That went up to about roughly over $2,000 per ounce. Great opportunities for people to hedge their portfolios. So it's just different opportunities when stock market is going down, but you can't just go buy it for no reason. You have to have a real strategy. So talk a little bit about, real quick here, I know we're getting somewhat close to the end of the show here today, different ways that investors, say you have a portfolio and you're not sure on how to get out the market, whatever it may be, how to use inversely correlated markets to hedge your portfolio.
Right. Well, when the market is going down, there's always something that we always say that there's a bull market somewhere. In something is benefiting from a down market. Those are the things that we talk about in the class. We show you how some things are inversely correlated. We just mentioned oil and gold, which typically go the opposite direction of the stock market. There's some things that are correlated, with each other, that both will go up at the same time. Some are inversely correlated. Some have no correlation at all. Sugar, for example, in the S&P 500. So there's some commodities you can trade where there's no correlation to the stock market. But those are all things that we teach. Again, these are things that if you don't know about them, there's a modicum of fear that you have. There's another word I threw in there.
I like it.
But that fear just is the unknown. And what we do is we change that from the unknown to the known. One of the things you mentioned before I want to bring up again, you mentioned the word take action.
Yeah.
You can read books, you can listen to webinars, seminars, you can get all sorts of knowledge, but unless you use it, it doesn't do you any good. So one of the things that we do for our students is as soon as possible, we actually kind of make them start trading live in the live market conditions, so you actually kind of get your hands dirty. It looks like anything else you do. You're never going to learn how to do it unless you actually start doing it. So we kind of make you do that. Once you do that, and you kind of get that feeling of security that comes from learning something that gives you consistency, it changes everything.
Yeah, it's almost like that quote, practice makes perfect. It's actually not that, though. It's practice makes permanent. I mean, think about it this way.
Good.
We got the Denver Broncos. They have a new quarterback. They're going to be practicing until the season. We got the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, they're going to be practicing until the beginning of the season. That is how you get better, and that's how you build longevity. If an athlete doesn't practice, they are not going to be a pro athlete. Same in the markets. If you don't practice before you get started, you'll never get anywhere.
That's right.
But the first thing you have to do is get started and learn how to practice right. Al, we have these investing classes right here in Denver, Colorado, and also Bloomington, Minnesota, to help people get started in these financial markets. Hopefully, we've inspired you to get started. We've had a lot of people call in. Congratulations to those people that have. But one last set of tickets for the investing class, local here in Bloomington. Get your phone ready. When you call now, you're going to receive 2 tickets plus a quick start kit that includes some free stuff, some free stock picks. Call right now, 888-682-6466. That's 888-682-6466. For those texters, call, or you can just text the word invest to the number 484848. You're going to get a link back right away. Pick the date. Otherwise, we'll give you a call. Make sure we find a date that works for your schedule. Al, we've had a lot of conversation about how the markets work here today. A great conversation. But you always have that one special thing at the end of the show, the OTA, tip of the week. Let's hear it.
Okay, you know what? As financial educators, our job is to show you how to kind of cut through the bad news, the political debacles, and identify and use the assets and strategies that will help you to achieve your short-term income goals and your long-term wealth goals. You can't put things on hold until all of the world's problems are solved. There's always a bull market somewhere. There's always a best strategy for you. Let us help you identify what that is.
Yeah, if you want to learn what those strategies are, what Al is talking about, you have to get started in these investing classes. If we have people that come to these classes are brand new to the market, some are investing already, some are just have retirement plans and want to have the opportunity to do better. Call 888-682-6466 or text the word invest to the number 484848 for the investing class locally here in Denver and in Bloomington. As always, same time, same place next week. Until then, retire young, my friends.